Let's talk some hockey. On Friday, November 12th, 2021, there are 5 games on the schedule, and we have a look at the most current version of the NHL algorithm. Let's talk about the games. Let's talk about what bets we're going to add to our round robin for the day. I already did a video about college basketball earlier today, and I grabbed 6 picks. I'm actually going to get rid of this Southern Miss pick because I want to grab at least 2 or 3 hockey picks, and we're going to add them to our daily round robin. So here's what's going on. Opening off the day, the number 1 pick of the day, the algorithm says Edmonton over Buffalo. Edmonton, a team that's playing really, really well against a team that's playing terrible over the last few weeks. Buffalo, they had a little Goldilocks period here in the beginning of the season where they looked okay. Now they're having trouble. The line's only minus 168. What do you do here? You have to take this in some form on the round robin. I guess what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to just take them to win. I don't like the payout all that much. You could take a minus 1.5, but teams play to win. Hockey can be tough, so just knowing all that, we're just going to take Edmonton to win on here, which means we're probably going to grab 2 other hockey picks to have 8, and then I'll talk about what the wager is going to be. So the projected scores are distorted this early in the year still. It doesn't think they'll put up 10, but it does think they're going to win like 4-1 or something like that. Calgary and Toronto. Here, likes Toronto, also team playing better. Calgary not playing well recently. The line is worse on Toronto, and Calgary, look at Calgary's adjusted power being 44%. This is what's staggering about this game. They don't have their good goaltender. It feels like a lot of goals in this game, given the way Toronto's want to break out. So I'm tempted to want to play the over. It's set at 6.2. The over's probably at, it's only 5.5. Okay, that's actually a pick. Overs and unders, well, that's a potential pick. I'm thinking about the over there because I don't like Toronto's line here, given that the adjusted power for Calgary is better. And if you're doing just the underdog strategy where you do straight bets on underdogs, this is one where you take Calgary, and also here's one where you take Arizona. So we'll leave Calgary, Toronto off for now because we try to stay away from over-unders on round robins. They're tough to predict. Philly and Carolina, second pick of the day. They're minus 175. Carter Hart's not not a very good goalie. Carolina's still a good team. Man, I wish that line was better. It's just not a good enough line. I want to take it, but we lost a number 2 pick yesterday. Also, let's leave it off for now. We'll keep going. Washington and Columbus. Here does favor Washington by a couple goals, but the new margin, because Columbus is playing better, is very, very even. It's a no-bet game. Will there be an over here? Is Samsonov going? Korpisalo doesn't have a good rating. So goals here as well, even though it didn't come in last night, but it's not a round-robin pick because over-unders try to stay away. Now here is interesting. So Arizona and Chicago, battle of the 2 worst teams in the league. Says that Chicago's got a little better margin here because they've been playing better, but the powers are so low. I see this plus 190, and I mean, Arizona plus 1.5 is probably close to even money, maybe like minus 110. And the underdog is a sneaky underdog because what kind of team does Arizona beat? Is they beat a bad team like Chicago. So I'm tempted to do this, which is very dangerous to do on a round robin because you gotta get wins, but it's going to be an amazing payout. So let's talk about what this might be if you try to really hit Arizona late night, or maybe what the difference will be if you do Arizona plus one at minus 110-ish. Let's try that first because that's a safer bet. It's a risky one though. So you've got $100 for the day as my budget on this, right? Well, there's 120 picks. So if we stay away from the two parlays and just go 3s through 7s, that's a $99 bet that pays $1,423.75 if you catch all 7. If we're wrong about Arizona and they get blown out, you still make $456. If we're wrong about Minnesota, this is another underdog line, it doesn't win a college basketball. If we're wrong about that, you still make a little bit. Right? So you can go 5 and 2. These are going to be good days and bad days type bets, and when the good days happen, they just, as you can see, they pay 13 to 1. And so I'll go with this. I'm tempted. Man, am I tempted to do with this. Coyotes at, what was that, plus 190? Look at that. I mean, it's an extra $500 if they win the game, as opposed to covering the 1.5. And it's a game they can win, but you cut yourself off big time if you lose. As you can see, the massiveness of it. So the greedy gambler takes them to win. If we leave them off completely because I just don't know what to do with that game, and you have these 57 bets, do something like this. Maybe it's at 2, 3, 4, 5. Give you $100, a little more than $100. Let's do this. Something like this is about $100. That's a similar payout with only 6 picks, right? And you don't have to worry about Arizona. I'm actually going to pull Arizona off there because I can't in good faith tell you that this is a good pick for a round robin, because it's not. It's a good pick for a straight bet to win. You got this interesting straight bet Calgary, interesting straight bet Arizona. Stay away from this game. Really, oh man, hockey is so tough. Hockey is extremely tough. So. I guess the accurate piece of information here is if you have 6 picks and I really only have one of them being a hockey pick, being Edmonton, you would also to have yourself on the right side of the money, you would do something like this. Honestly, you'd take Carolina. You wouldn't worry. You'd have to do something separate for the Arizona situation. And in this situation, like, what it is, it's one for all of them. It's the $99 bet. And see, it still pays $1,100, and now you have a stronger team than Arizona that should win. So you've got six favorites and 1 underdog, because you can't take Minnesota plus points because they don't offer a spread on that game that I saw. So something like this is, I think, what we'll go with, or some derivation thereof. If you do one thing and you're listening to the algorithm, which did have the pick of the day win yesterday in LA, is you go with Edmonton, but the line is not great. But they're really supposed to load it on. So Edmonton minus 1.5 is technically probably a better idea right here, actually. Even though it's a round robin, because they're really supposed to win that game heavily. So I would probably something like this. It's probably like 115. That raises you up a lot. I think that's a better play, actually, because you're really going with the strength of the algorithm here with Edmonton over Buffalo. So that's the look at hockey for the day. Shorter schedule, but a couple clear, strong picks in Carolina and Edmonton, a fun line on Arizona, and a fun line on Calgary. And goals in this Columbus game, you would think, even though Washington just played yesterday, but over-unders are tough. All right, everybody, good luck. May all your picks be winning.